just to sin. This just then breaking news on a situation in New York by the gunman that unalive some people and off himself. More information has come out. Claims and saying that he was blaming his condition on CTE, which is a lot of brain damage. Um, this reminds me of a couple of players that did wild out and unalive themselves, but this particular individual took people with him. You know, let's check it out.
Yeah, we're of course now hearing from President Trump, who said he's been in touch with law enforcement officials and that he also is trying to get to the bottom of just what happened here. And of course, expressing his condolences to those killed. I mean, one of the people killed yesterday, Wesley LePatner, happens to be a rising star in this industry, as you know, Tom, leading the REIT, the real estate investment fund for wealthy individuals at Blackstone. But it's not just that work she was doing. When you talk about a person who's on the board of
Condolences to the family. She did not deserve that. You probably didn't even know her at all. This is crazy. I don't know if he was Asian or Blasian.
the Met, the UJA, Schechter School. This is a person who dedicated their life to helping others. And imagine she's leaving work yesterday and becomes one of those victims. Another thing we learned about the suspect is that he did have a criminal history, right? We learned yesterday from the mayor that this was a young man who had some mental illness, but we know he was arrested for trespassing in 2012, seems to have then led a clean life, but then in 2023 in Nevada is charged with throwing a substance at a vehicle with intent to cause bodily injury. How that leads him to here yesterday is unclear, but he said in a note found on his person that he believed he had CTE. He believed that the NFL did not do enough to address.
They were saying the same thing about Junior Seau. He had tried to commit suicide many years prior to him accomplishing it. And his sentiment also was that he was suffering from CTE. Coroner's report information that came out that, oh, he had no brain problems, but he was going through a lot of depression. He tried to, unalive himself a time before. And there's other players that also want to claim this, but just like I said, how they won't stop the media putting out certain things to human minds that tricks the mind the same way they won't stop the music because all of this money and it does sway people. Just look at Michael Jackson, little kids in Russia fainting. Um, and you know, so what I said, it was about them blocking the music. You know what I mean? The television, and now is it's definitely the sports. Definitely football has always been on the table with issues with the brain, like boxing. Roman Coliseum. It's too much money for them to even put that out.
The effects of CTE, and he named an NFL player who took his own life in much the same way, minus the shooting, took his own life, and his brain was studied for CTE. So
That's Junior Seau, and they're actually redacting that from the news. I wonder why. Junior Seau in San Diego, he's well loved by everyone. He had his two restaurants. One was in Mission Valley Mall. Another one, I forgot what the other one was. I don't know if it's in La Jolla, one of those beaches. But yeah, Junior Seau is the name.
Is where we are this morning. But this is a story about much more than that, as you've been saying.
Miles, with all of your experience, I really can't say enough, folks, about some people talk, others do, like Miles Miller, who's been reporting since he was 17 years old in New York. Miles, how will this change security for American Wall Street, and particularly for the center tendency of New York City's Park Avenue?
You would think everything will be, sewn up from September 11th. You know,
Well, Tom, I was in Bermuda just a few weeks ago. And if you remember, I was there with the Secret Service. Just about 2 days ago, a good friend of mine who led that delegation
look like some bullshit he's saying.
Left to go to BNY Mellon, formerly the Bank of New York. He's now the head of corporate security. This has got him thinking how are we going to keep our executives safe? How are we going to keep our physical footprint here safe?
Well, they already got a million cameras that go in and out of the city. You're already cutting off the city and traveling people that's not going to pay all this money to drive through New York. Was that $24 to go in and out or something like that? Something crazy. You know, everybody's moving to Jersey and then to North Carolina and then to Texas. I think you guys are doing a pretty good job. Now, how could this man just nonchalantly just walk up to all these buildings? I don't know. I know in England they got the regular cops, and then they got the heavy duty whoops that's randomly in spots like cultural spots, big banks, and things like that.
It's on the minds of so many security executives. You know, so many of my good friends leave law enforcement and go work in this corporate security world. Chief security officer, friend of mine running security for the Empire State Building. He's got to think about how to keep this footprint safe. I was walking around the neighborhood. If you go around this building, there's so many ways.
And I ain't gonna hold you. A lot of those airlines and stuff is not secure. I remember I heard of somebody bringing stuff from different places, and let alone even different countries, and nothing happened. You know, I know of somebody. A lot of things ain't just as even these gated communities. These things be like 8 feet tall. Like you can scale them. America is not as protected as we may think. It's too big, and let alone the policies of letting strangers in. I don't know where this dude is from, but I think his last name is Tim Puda or something like that. Tanaka.
To get in and out. And now they've got to be thinking, what are the ways we fortify our offices in a way that we can ensure that everyone is safe? You know?
Miles, when do we plan to hear?
How about you have what you got right there? A police officer standing in front of it. How would you mean Fort Knox? You know what I'm saying? How shut down should Manhattan be? It sounds like Escape from New York, Escape from LA going on.
From city officials, NYPD officials today?
Yeah, so we heard from the mayor, and he's going to be giving the official accounting of what happened. And he's been doing a really stand-up job of telling us exactly what was in the letter and what he learned and that kind of thing. And that's been great to see that in some interviews. We have not heard about any updated briefings from the police commissioner, but we do know that when they do the dignified transfer, we may hear from her because the officer who was shot and killed, his body is at the morgue right now, and they'll do that cause and origin. And so we usually hear from some police officials.
I wonder if he was Samoan since he had a kind of Asian or Southeast Asian name, because I know Junior Seau was Samoan. He's from San Diego.
There. What we do know is that we're expecting to get some more information in just about 15 minutes time from the NYPD, just about the investigation, the top lines of it. We already have that information that we first reported about the note, but we want to get more information about the suspect and what they may have found in the car and that kind of thing as well. But what I'll tell you is that this suspect is a former security guard in Nevada, worked at the Lake Las Vegas resort back in 2020, and had won a lot of money gambling. You may think, how did this guy get here with this BMW that he parked in the middle of Park Avenue? Right. How did he get here with this M4? And he definitely had the means to do all that he did.
He'd lost millions of dollars gambling.
Compulsive gambling, alcohol.
He wasted.
Oh, speaking of gambling,
everything.
And violent off-the-field incidents.
We didn't know why he was detached or forgetting, or why he would bark at us for nothing, or we didn't know.
You don't talk about a dead man like that, though. Just saying. That was kind of wild, Vic.
911 emergency.
And then another death.
An apparent suicide by a powerful athlete.
Your
A beloved NFL star apparently took his own life today.
What is your boyfriend's name? Junior Seau. Okay.
Linebacker Junior Seau died today in an apparent suicide.
I remember that's when I first had moved to California. I remember that happened actually.
Himself. I can't tell, man. It looks like in the heart.
Untimely death of Junior Seau is provoking questions.
He shot himself in the heart so they could, check out his brain.
As the news broke, the question emerged. Did CTE play a part in Junior Seau's death?
Here comes Seau, and he's sacked all the
He had used his body and his head for 20 years in the NFL. Number 55 was a hard-hitting linebacker. Pain and injury were his specialty. He even bragged about it once on an NFL film.
Perfect hit is when you're faced up, coming one-on-one, and you hear him go,
He's not really boasting. I'll make the guy turn out to be a demon. He didn't kill nobody else.
He talked about the price he was willing to pay.
You have to sacrifice your body. You have to sacrifice years down the line. When we are 50, 40 years old, we probably won't be able to walk. That's the sacrifice that you take to play this game.
He's saying it right there without saying it.
And it had paid off. Seau made millions.
And that's exactly why he kept doing it. It's like why everybody keep doing it. And the trillions made across the whole country, let alone other countries that are being indoctrinated into American football.
He was a philanthropist, beloved in his community. But then, a familiar story. His life fell apart.
Junior Seau was arrested for domestic violence in Oceanside, California early on Monday.
Seau accused of hitting his 25-year-old girlfriend.
Junior Seau drove his SUV right off a cliff in California.
Former pro football star has apparently fallen on hard times.
At 43, his business empire had imploded.
Had changed dramatically.
He'd lost millions of dollars gambling.
Compulsive gambling,
Where they shut down his restaurants.
He wasted everything.
And violent off-the-field incidents.
We didn't know why he was detached or forgetting, or why he would bark at us for nothing, or we didn't know.
She's still using that moniker, Gina Seau, and saying how he was barking. Damn, Uso. Snow bunnies never.
The
Chiahoos forever.
past 2 years have been the roughest. And for a couple months at a time, I wouldn't hear from him at all. And that would scare me.
We got really close, and, I feel like it's turning around. Okay, he wants to be part of my life. And then all of a sudden, I wouldn't hear from him.
He is truly a legend, and he will be with us forever.
The final diagnosis in Seau's case was national news.
NBC News and ESPN have learned exclusively Seau's brain showed
He had
visible signs of
CTE.
CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
But let's be clear. We strongly deny those allegations that we withheld any information or misled the players. And if we have to defend this suit, we will do that and be able to make those factual allegations.
Yeah, man, they just kind of cover it up, Big money is big evil. Word is born. That's definitely, man. Make sure y'all drink y'all kombucha, man. Word up, man. Be happy for the little things in life, you heard? Definitely, I'm learning that. Y'all know what I've been through in the past 5 years. Man. All right. Y'all be good now. Thank y'all for listening.
That shit feels so good when you drink it. Yeah, you can drink anti-organisms. It kills all the shit in your body, all the dirt and the mold that you got in your shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? We all got bacteria. You know what I'm saying? But I don't even know the name. Bunchie. That's the name of it.